Well, hello and welcome people of the internet back to some more Army of Ruin. Today's goal is to complete Shrine Endless on Ruin 2. Mostly I picked Ruin 2 kind of arbitrarily, mostly because Shrine is kind of the hardest stage that I have trouble with. And so I'm not sure where I stand on Ruin 3, but we'll at least get Ruin 2 done. The unlocks that we're going for here, for one of which weapon, we got the Shrine on Endless, so we could just complete this on no ruin, but hey, that wouldn't be very much fun. We can complete that pretty easily. And we also need to get Michi to level 30, who is going to be our character of the video. This will just unlock her main weapon across the board, and then we have two other weapons, and that'll be it for the weapons. We're almost done. Trinkets, there's nothing here to unlock for us, but we're almost done here as well. So Michi is who we are playing. Now, unfortunately, her stats are not very good. She loses health and damage, and on level up, she only gains damage to bosses. So not starting very well. You know, she has some additional speed, but you know, is that necessary? No. That being said, her active skill is quite good. Dagger's Circle does a lot of damage, and it does damage all around her. Throwing Bombs, I haven't played with basically at all. It seems fine. It evolves with light and dark, and so talking about the build here, what I want to be doing, we're going to go for like a light and dark build. A lot of my favorite trinkets are light and dark, so I figured we'd make a build around that. So for weapons, Cupid's Arrow is one we're going to be going for, as it evolves with double light. We have Dark Staff, which is kind of the, well, not quite the opposite, but it has double dark. Does a lot of very quick single hitting beams and could also inflict curse. We're going to be going for, what's the other one we're going for? Spark Sword. I really like Spark Sword. There's a couple of these that basically do damage all around you, like Toxic Stench and Wolf's Fang, but Spark Sword is one that kind of completely changes, changes a lot when we evolve it, but this is one that I really like. And there was one more. Oh, right. She has Throwing Bombs on her. Now, the last pick I have is a little bit of a curveball because it kind of falls off in this theme, but it is Chain Lightning. I think Chain Lightning is my favorite weapon in the game. At its base level, it's kind of okay, you know, just kind of chains around, hits a couple. But when it evolves, it just like hits the whole field, and it has light, but it also has ice. So the question is, where are we going to go with that? As far as trinkets go, Bloodthirst is like literally all upside. Once you have regeneration in your meta progression, this is not a downside anymore. You end up surpassing this. So we just get extra projectiles and damage. It's kind of busted. We are going for Gloves of Harmony is the other one. So this is kind of why we're doing this light and dark build. For every trinket that infuses light or dark, we get extra damage and extra attack size. So we're going to lose a little bit because we're going to go for ice. We're also going to go for kind of the standard ones. So Raven's Wing, Sacred Effigy, for more damage health and for less health, and then the other one is Forbidden Sword for more projectiles and more damage. For ice, I could see going two different ways. If you wanted to go more offensive, you can go Magic Needle. You do lose the attack size, which is only really relevant for a couple of the weapons we're going for, but ultimately this is going to be offset by the gloves since this gives attack size. The other, if you want to have a little bit of defense, since we don't really have anything defensively, you could go for Buckler. So if we see one or the other, that's kind of where I'll go between those, but that's ultimately the goal. Let's go ahead and jump in. Shrine, Ruin 2, and we got, where is she? There we go, Michi. Let's get her done. And then hopefully, so I have my weapons favorited, trinkets I don't, and so hopefully, because since I don't have enough rerolls, I've been getting a lot of money, but stuff is getting pretty expensive. So we'll just level up the Throwing Bombs here. I would have liked to get one of our weapons, but unfortunately, we don't just yet. Commander's Cloak is another one I could see taking. I mean, if you want it, it's just damage. I probably wouldn't take Rabbit's Foot. I am going to keep it in the pool, though, simply because if we need another light to work with the gloves, we might end up taking it. Probably not, but we'll go ahead and banish the Fire Mirror. We'll get rid of the Heavy Greaves. We definitely don't want those. There's our Raven's Wing. Very nice. Again, I would have liked it to be a weapon, but, you know, so it goes. We'll take what we can get. Oh my goodness, that boy is speedy. Okay, we're gonna have to fight our way through there. There's the Dark Staff. We're definitely gonna take this now. Unfortunately, gonna have to run through here. Living Paintbrush. Oh, I don't think I mentioned Living Paintbrush. Yeah, so this is gonna be kind of our close range weapon of choice, and actually it hits in a pretty big radius, especially once we get some area of effect. That's gonna hit pretty hard. Let's see. So I'm actually going to let's go ahead and banish some stuff out of here so we stop seeing it. We'll get rid of the dragon heart. And all right, well, we just get our spark swords. That's pretty nice. So we've already got 4 out of our 6 weapons, which is going to be a really big boost for us. Having just things that hit more often is going to be really necessary for this area. Okay, Viking Helm is another one that I wouldn't mind taking, just, you know, in the off chance that we don't get the actual picks that I want. So I'm going to get rid of Armor of Thorns here. And I'll just take the Spark Sword. Okay, let's go ahead and try and get a couple hills here. And we're going to make our way up north to that chest. Excuse me, and of course the boss. We'll go ahead and take the Spark Sword again. Although having some trouble fighting through the chunkies. Having some trouble fighting through the chunkies. Nice. We get our Cupid's arrow. And at this point, we're sailing pretty. All right, let's arrow through here. And we got nothing here. Let's go ahead and re-roll. So at this point, we're just looking for the chain lightning. That's all we're looking for. Nice. So we get the bloodthirst. That's going to be nice. We get extra projectiles, extra damage. Yeah, living paintbrush is really nice. Having that really large, and we're just going to get... I do wish that I had gotten Raven's Wing later, to be completely honest. That way we didn't get hurt so much by the experience, but now that we have it, I'm just going to keep taking the upgrades. Sacred Beacon is an interesting one. It's one that I've just recently unlocked. I've tried it a couple times and tried to make it work. Just haven't really had it work out super nicely yet. But to be fair, a lot of the things I've been doing, I kind of had to force kind of bad builds. Leather Bracer I could also see taking for ice, but I kind of like Magic Needle. Although we might end up taking, because do we have fire rate? What are we taking for fire rate? Do we have anything? No, everything is damage. I could actually see taking Leather Bracer over Magic Needle because we have so much damage. Bloodthirst is damage, Raven's Wings is damage. Sacred Effigy is technically damage. Gloves of Harmony, Forbidden Sword. Yeah. We're going to take Leather Bracer instead. Yeah, I completely changed my mind. We already have so much damage. I actually just want to be firing faster. We don't have anything for attack speed. I'm glad that popped up. I completely forgot about Bracer when I was looking at all the trinkets for this build. It's been fun. I've been trying to like theory craft some more builds. Nice. And we get our last weapon. Perfect. Chain Lightning. Yeah, I've been loving Chain Lightning. I've been doing a lot of like the unlock builds to try and get like all the weapons and trinkets unlocked. And Chain Lightning has just kind of been a go-to. Been playing around with it a lot. Instead of re-rolling, I'm just going to take another Leather Bracer. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of theory crafting. The game, like... Up until this point, the game has primarily just been about unlocking things, right? Especially through like the first, I would say like the first half of the game that we've played. It was all about unlocking. It wasn't really about like working on specific builds. Was Banner of Ruin? No, Banner of Ruin I did take out. So you could play Banner of Ruin. You would get that extra projectile speed, which could be useful with the Cupid's arrow. But I think I took it out because Dark Staff is not that great. Or Dark Staff is already very fast. Throwing bombs is like not really necessary. Chain Lightning is already basically instant. So you do get the attack fire rate though. So I guess technically like that's kind of this Leather Bracer slot. Book of Owns, I don't want to go because it lowers our damage and our fire rate, although it does kind of offset the Raven's Wing, so it's kind of like, you know, why are you taking it if you're already down experience? So let's go ahead and re-roll. Don't really want the Emerald Ring, although it's kind of good. Oh, well, I mean, we have our gloves. Okay. I didn't see the gloves. Glad I looked. The gloves are easily... I mean, this is basically a gloves build. That's kind of what we're aiming for. That's the build around here. Nothing here. We'll just take the Dark Staff. Yeah, so now that I have pretty much above 90% of everything unlocked, being able to actually theory craft now of like, you know, what I want for builds has been quite fun. There's our sacred effigy. Nice. Because I actually have like most of the tools available, and I have all the characters unlocked. So like I have all the tools available to actually work on builds now. There's Forbidden Sword, and that finishes off. Now we are just leveling up, and it should be fairly smooth sailing unless we get some like really tough let's see. Let's go ahead and actually let's just work on getting our evolutions now. Unless we get some tough waves. We'll see how it goes. Maybe Rune 2 is going to be a little bit too easy. Maybe we should have jumped up to 3. I think 4 might be pushing it. It's like, it's one of those things where once I get to the late game, I don't have any issues. It's the early game that is a big struggle. Nice. So we get our throwing bombs up to level 5. Okay, so what are we looking for charms? Ideally, curiosity and finesse. And we do get finesse. Okay, so we're going to get attack damage, and we do lose some size here. But that size is going to kind of basically be offsetting the gloves, but we get massive damage from this. So finesse, we can only, I mean, we're taking simply because we're dipping into that ice element. So we get that there. Otherwise, we would have gone for curiosity, which I think is damage as well. I think that's one of the 25% damages. But yeah, so we'll take finesse. And we're going to be dripping in it. All right, Cupid's arrow, let's go. I'm going the completely wrong direction. Let's go ahead and take out these phoenixes first. Although, oh geez, okay, where'd my health go? Where'd my health go? Okay, we almost just like completely skewered the run here. Let's go ahead and get a little bit of regen going here, huh? Let's get the spark sword up. Got a chest up here, so we'll get one of our evolutions. Nice recovery. Love that. I did pump some more points into recovery over time in meta progression, so we are maxed out there, I do believe. Damage and stuns nearby enemy shoots. Chained lightning at a distance. So that's really the difference here. Now our spark sword is also doing damage at a distance, as opposed to just close-up damage. And I'm actually going to keep going for the chain lightning. Like I said, chain lightning is just one of my favorite abilities in this game now. Got it recently, and then I haven't turned back. It's just like, it's just really good. And I think I didn't go over meta progression, and it's been, you know, I've actually played quite a lot since the last video, so I should probably kind of touch on that as to what I've upgraded here. Pretty much everything that I had before, like, was maxed, right? So, like, attack damage, attack speed, interest, experience, that was all maxed. Obviously, weapon and trinket totals were maxed. I think I put, like, 1 extra point into banishes. I have only 1 projectile. I don't have the 2nd projectile point yet. What else do we have available? Oh, hang on. Let's play it a little bit carefully here. Don't want to get too caught up in chit-chatting. Then we end up biting the big one. Because we're still not out of the woods yet. We could get a tough wave and just get smoked. Alright, Medusa bombs. I actually haven't even used these yet. Thrown around you, and they may petrify enemies. Okay. Thrown around? Oh, okay, so that... Oh, they get thrown... Oh, nice. They get thrown in a circle. Okay, so we don't have to aim anymore. Not that I was aiming to begin with. I was just throwing them in front of me. Where's our other boss? Way the heck up there. Alright. Alrighty, game. I see. We're just gonna keep running back and forth. Which, honestly, I mean, you're sending us back to get experience, so I don't hate it. Let's go ahead and take... Yeah, let's reduce health of enemies by 30%. Do have to be worried about these cats. We could get knocked around by a couple of their bells and really start hurting. We got a charm down here, though, so I'm going to make my way back down here. I'm just gonna, am I, no, I'm gonna hold off on maxing that out. Let's take the Dark Staff. There's no sense in maxing out the Sacred Effigy. We're not gonna get the benefit until we're near a boss. There's Max Dark Staff. Oh boy, picked up a speed boost and I'm moving around like crazy. Let's take Living Paintbrush. And now, oh, we need to keep working on Chain Lightning. I haven't seen it though. I haven't seen any upgrades for it. Okay, so looking for that Curiosity. And we don't find Curiosity, so we could go with health, or projectiles. Well, we already have 1,000,000 projectiles, so I don't really need to worry about that. So let's take health. We're not getting any of the boosts, so it literally doesn't matter. So I like you mess with the bull, you get the horn. So we're going with safety. All right, choose Thick Beam, real thick, towards a random enemy and inflicts curse on all enemies hit. Grab the Chain Lightning, grab the Coin Magnet, pick up as much as we can, which was basically nothing. Actually, I should probably start working on Forbidden Sword. That's doing nothing, whereas the gloves are actually doing something for us. We got a chest back here. How close is that? Pretty close. We're going to go pick that up. Get our... Well, actually, it's going to be either Paintbrush or Cupid to evolve. Hoping for Cupid. Nice. Nice. That's going to add up for some big damage. I probably should also mention, too, I've been playing exclusively on 3x speed. I mean, I know it's not actually 3 times the speed, but I'm just going to call it 3x. Which has not only significantly decreased my playtime since we're playing so much faster. So the 3 challenges that I thought were going to be the most annoying and were actually fairly simple to complete were the challenges that... I'm going to take Chain Lightning over the sword here so we can evolve it. The challenges where you need to play the map for a super long time. So it's like I think it's Graveyard Tier 1 for 15 minutes, even though the last boss shows up at 10. I think it's Forest 2 for... Oh, how long is it? Normally it would be 15, so I think it's 21 minutes you have to survive, and then I know it's Forge 3, you have to survive for 28 minutes, and we get our Lightning Storm here, literally one of my favorites. And so basically you have to last for 5 minutes longer, 6 minutes longer, and then 7 minutes. No. 6 minutes longer, 7 minutes longer, then 8 minutes longer. And I thought that was going to be really annoying, but having to, being able to play it on faster speed was so nice. It went by so much faster. And pretty much I just took, all the really bad weapons, in case you haven't beaten it yet, and are looking to figure out exactly how to get that done. I just took all bad weapons, so ideally I would pick weapons that were area of effect based, so like Wolf's Fang, Toxic Stench, Spark Sword. I would take the Frost Blade that spins around you really slowly. I'd take what is it? I'd take the Cutlass. Basically all the bad weapons that you can aim where they're going and how far their range is. So that way you can kind of control. So we just got 80% more damage. We're killing things now. Oh, and we got a nice magnet here. Okay. Let's get Bloodthirst. Nice, we get more projectiles. That's a bunch more damage, a bunch more health. And our last chance to get... Actually, I don't know. Do we get more than 3 I think we only get 3. Yeah, you just put on all the bad weapons and then you go to ruin level 0 because everything's pretty easy and you literally just walk around. You can take some defensives too, like Buckler. There's the Curiosity. Oh, why did I put Curiosity here? Oh, I guess to offset the Raven's Wing. That seems weird. Especially now that we have everything leveled up, it doesn't really matter. I mean, technically we could take this to try and get more gold, but I'm going to take the attack rate. Just to make sure, like, we don't run into anything in front of us. Because at this point, I'm pretty much at the point where I can just hit W. And we're only, you know, 13.5 minutes in, but again, it might have ended up that Ruin 2 is actually easier than I thought it was going to be. I was kind of going off the assumption, looking at the threat level, because threat level was maxed out, and I was having some potential issues with Shrine 3 with very close to max threat. But that was, you know, a little while ago, and so I've been, you know, powering up. We have obviously better weapons. We're doing a bunch of damage, and we kind of have a focus. Okay, let's not run into the chunkies. You know, a focus build as opposed to going in with some semblance of a plan. Now, like, this is actually having a plan and executing, and it's just like stomping everything. And we don't even have like max gloves. We don't have those yet. We still have like another 40% of damage that can come from Raven's Wing. We got a bunch of no attack rate. We're already maxed out on that. I literally don't even know what I'm... Was there a boss? Yep, okay, I killed the boss. Like, I didn't even know what the boss is. I thought... So, something I didn't even realize. So, if you haven't been watching my Holocure series, I've been playing Holocure a lot on the channel. And in my Kiara video that I just did, it's the one that says... what was it? Fried Chicken Fights Back. I didn't even realize, I mentioned at the end, I was like, God, I got 2 bosses here right in front of me, and I can't see anything. And people were like, he's stomping the level so hard, he doesn't even see that there are 3 bosses. Apparently, I forgot there was a 3rd boss on that map. Alright, so we are maxed out, so now we're just in full gold farm mode. So I'm not sure how much more we're gonna make. We're at 6,500. Oh, hey, we have a 4th charm up here. Very nice. Let's go ahead. Where we're at? We're at 4 out of 5. No. Let's go do the boss first, since it's the last one, and then we can make our way back up. Then we'll grab all the chests. We'll grab the charm and all that. But like the bosses are done. Like I mean, considering the fact that we have 100, I mean, that thing got obliterated, right? By the time we're fully leveled up. Ew, give me more money. Hey, there we go, money. Because how does this scale? So we have 15 damage every 5 levels, so up to 10 times. So you have 150% extra damage against bosses. They're gonna get smashed in the face. It's not even gonna be a question. More money, which is great because everything now is so expensive. It's like 60k for another projectile. Oh, I think revives. I did spend one. That was another thing. Back when I was talking about meta progression that I forgot to add, I do have an extra revive on. Obviously, it doesn't look like we're going to need it, but, you know, in case something freaky happens, we do have that safeguard. I bought it. I was having some issues. Which one was I having issues with? I think it was with, what is it? Is it Trask or Track? It's the green lizard. It's the green dragon character that does wind blasts above and below him. I was having some real issues because it was, I had to do, I think it was Glacier. Was it Glacier 3? I think it was Glacier 3. I forgot what the challenge was though. But I was having some issues there because obviously Glacier is a horizontal map. So how good does this help us? I think I'm just gonna take the I mean, isn't projectiles just better, and we don't lose health? It's just better than attack damage, right? Guess so. I mean, it's only 25%. You add one of any of these, that's just like way more damage. So at this point, I really don't care about stats. I mean, as you can see, the entire screen is getting blown up. So it's literally just like, you know, like we could do and see like, oh, how much damage could we possibly get? But I have nothing to compare it to. Like, I haven't done I haven't done a build where it's like, how much damage can we possibly do yet? Right, so we wouldn't really have anything to compare it to and see like how good this build is versus another build. So technically, like, you could set this run as the baseline, and then anything after that is the comparison. So I'm just literally gonna take as much money as I can. We're just gonna rob this place blind. And at this point, I guess I'm just gonna keep running until something else pops up on the map. Oh, we got another power up here. Somewhere. Oh, cooldown. Yeah, because we need that. We need more cooldown. All right, there's a magnet there. We got money. We get more money. Get more money. We got nothing else up here. All right, we'll work our way back down this way. Pop our skill for good measure. Now, this could be a dangerous situation if our build wasn't online. There are a lot of chunkies here. And this looks like it would be massive trouble. So there should be, at minute 20, isn't that where the typical final... I know it's where the typical, like, boss shows his face. But I thought in Endless, the boss shows at 20 minutes, and then the round just doesn't end. Maybe it's just they send you, like, an elite, like a mini-boss at 20, and then at 30 is the typical final boss. Like, I guess technically we could go for damage. So that way we last longer on the map. And then we could just, like, farm more. But I guess the argument is then just like, when are you done farming stats? Because otherwise you're losing up, you're losing out on, like, you know, 200 coins. How much does that bring in? That brought in 500. Oh, no, it brought in way more than that. Brought in almost 1,000. How much health do we have at this point? 264? Oh, it looks like I have 2 revives. No, 1. What is this? This extra... No, that's not extra projectiles. That's projectiles. What is this one? +2... Is that Ruin? Is that what it's supposed to be? Because isn't this revive? I don't know. I don't got time for that. I got maps to run. Oh, hey, I'm stuck in a trap. Okay, we're out. All right, well, since we got a bunch of time here to kill, I want to kind of talk about something that's been going on in parts of the, I don't know what you'd even call it, gaming slash streaming community. Let's be honest, most of those guys stir up drama just because it's content, but I kind of wanted to talk about the, I guess, philosophy. Maybe that's the wrong word. But my thoughts about the situation that's going on right now with Pirate Software. If you're not familiar, I'll do like a quick summary. It's about World of Warcraft, which I'm going to be honest, knowledgeability wise with World of Warcraft, I know about 1%. If you put it on a scale from 0 to 100. So in terms of like game knowledge, I'm not going to be any help here, but I understood what was going on enough to kind of understand what was going on. So just a very brief breakdown for those of you guys who don't know and likely don't care. Again, I don't care about the situation. I want to talk more about I don't care about the people. I want to talk about a little bit more about the situation. Apologize for rambling. Anyway, basically what happened is Pirate Software, who is a pretty large content creator in the space. He's an ex-Blizzard dev. He was playing in a dungeon in World of Warcraft on a hardcore server with 4 other people who I believe all 4 were in his guild. Hardcore server, just if you die, your character is dead. I don't know if it's the same as like Path of Exile, where if your character dies, you lose that character entirely. I know with Path of Exile, if your character dies, they just can't play on the hardcore server anymore, but you still get to keep your character. They were playing in a dungeon, and essentially what happened was the boss of the dungeon, or a boss, I should say, got pulled early. And I don't know if this person was the leader of the group, but somebody called out to run. Basically, they said, run, 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 run. And so everybody started to run, because if you go back to the beginning of the dungeon, you can leave. Otherwise, you're in combat and you can't teleport, I'm assuming. So you have to make it to the beginning of the dungeon in order to get out and escape in order to prevent death. So everyone started to run, and then a couple, like the tank, the healer, and then one of the DPS basically started to try and salvage it. They were trying to kind of fight the way out. They were kind of splitting hairs. They were kind of doing both, trying to run away, but also like dealing damage to the enemies. And Pirate Software was kind of at the front of the pack, leading the charge to leave. And he claimed that he was out of mana. He couldn't really cast anything. They were like, hey, come back. Like, we can salvage this. And he was kind of saying, like, look, I got no mana. I can't do anything to help. But based on reviewing the game footage, like he had a potion that he could have popped to get some, some of his mana back. And so basically what this whole drama is all about, which is silly in my opinion. This is a whole nothing burger. Basically, it wasn't that he didn't do anything to help the party, try to salvage the escape. It was the fact that apparently he didn't take accountability after the fact and say that he could have helped his party, and instead said that it was the fault of the group. And so that's more of the part that I care about, because I don't care whether, because basically 2 people died, so they lost their character. It's like, big whoop. You play on a hardcore server, that's what you play for. There were some other technical things that happened. One of the characters ended up pulling extra mobs, which made it, harder for them to escape, yada, yada, yada. Doesn't really matter. Ultimately, the part that I think is kind of cringe is that one of the players was saying that, like, he wasn't taking accountability, and there's a lot of people who are calling him a rat for trying to leave, not only leave, but to not do more to help out the team. And this is where I think I have a mostly different perspective than a lot of people who are commenting on this situation. Because in general, I think nowadays, and this is more of like a general thing to, like, it's like a gen pop thing, I think there's a real lack of accountability for... I think a lot of people don't want to take accountability for actions. And the thing is, and some people might hear that statement and think that I'm gonna go in after Pirate Software. Again, I should stop saying his name because I don't want to look at this in terms of like him as a person. I'm looking at this more of like a situation of just five random people, right? Let's take the people out of it. It's just 5 random people. So person A is the person we're discussing. Person A was listening to an order, or let's say it's an order, listening to an order or command that was given by the leader of the group. Halfway through that order, it was rescinded to come back and try to salvage. I kind of liken this to a situation where, let's say a person is, how do I want to put this? I had this in my head this morning and now I'm kind of forgetting what I wanted to compare this to. Oh, it was to a person drowning, right? So the problem that people were having is that he didn't do more work to go and help out his party, right? And I can understand that. Like, it's not like they were necessarily going to kill the boss, kill the mobs, and all of a sudden be winning the dungeon. But they were like, well, you could have cast a Frost Nova, which would have slowed down the enemies and allowed them to get closer. The thing is, the command run was called. So in my mind, if a leader makes a decision, regardless of if that decision is good or not, you still have to follow what the leader says in the same way that a company works. When the CEO or general manager, president, whatever, gives some kind of order, command, policy, it's expected that everybody follows that, because if people don't, well, then you don't really have a company, you don't have a team, and everyone's doing something different, and ultimately there's no shared goal. And so what ultimately could have happened is, had person A halfway through trying to escape, right? Person A is escaping, so they're going to use their mana to like blink away to try and make it to the escape as fast as possible, spend any like stamina potions they may have. I don't even know if that's a thing in World of Warcraft, but they're going to use resources to try to make that escape as effectively as possible. The problem is, if he were to, let's say person A had spent all their resources trying to escape, a call is made halfway through to rescind it, and then all of a sudden, oh, no, actually come back, we can salvage this. Basically what's going on in a nutshell is, like, if you're trying to save a drowning person, you're not going to swim in there after them. You're going to throw, like, you're going to throw them a lifeline, sure, but you're not going to put your entire body in there. So for person A to have to swing back around and get close enough to use those spells, which they were saying could have been used to help protect the team, you know, that person is then putting themselves at risk. And the call by the leader was run. And so for then somebody else to say, oh, we can salvage this, it's not putting up a team front. And I think once that command is given, you kind of have to you have to stand by it, I think. And so I don't know. I found the whole thing a little weird, how there was like so much drama about this one situation that I literally thought was just nothing burger, because again, it wasn't even, literally the drama wasn't even about, oh, you let your teammate die. No, it was, hey, you didn't admit that you could have done more. And it's like, well, to be fair, he didn't pull the extra mobs that got you killed. He didn't make the call that was run. He didn't make the call to pull the boss. Like, there were a lot of things that happened before then, and so it feels a lot like the person who is in charge is getting kind of regrets for making the call in the first place, and is then trying to pass blame onto somebody else who, let's say, in terms of percentages, let's say the entire party has 100% of the fault for everything that happened. Person A might have had like 10%, not even fault, but like consequence of what ended up happening. Because again, I don't know, I don't have any game knowledge, so I don't know if what he could have, or what person A could have done would have made any change to the outcome, which was 2 party members dying. But what probably would have happened is, had person A turned around and, you know, followed these new orders that were kind of like he was already in the middle of following another order, probably would have also lost himself. And so I find it funny that the drama was about the not wanting to take accountability, not the actions that happened, but the fact that, you know, he, like, I don't even know. It's such a weird situation. It was just one of those things that, like, popped up on my YouTube. Like, I had seen the name Pirate Software before, so of course the videos were like, the drama involving this person. I was like, all right, I'm curious, you know, calling me interested. And then I saw what it was about, and I was like, what? How is this even a thing? Like, are you serious? Like, I don't care about the World of Warcraft community at all. I don't care about the game or the drama. I just thought it was more of a, like, philosophical? No, it was more like a mental exercise as to what would happen in the real world if that was called. You know, like, let's say it was like a military situation and that was the case. You know, you give a call to retreat, and then all of a sudden halfway through the retreat, it's like, oh, guys, actually, turn around and let's actually fight. It's like, but our ranks are broken. And I guess I'm talking more of like a fantasy fight, not like, not like a, you know, current day fight. You know, it's like our ranks are broken. We don't know exactly what your plan is. Like, we went in with a plan. Now we have kind of like a half plan. You know, we're like mostly out of resources. You know, it's like you got to go in with one head on. And when, you know, there's obviously going to be tension. There's obviously going to be some level of panic because nobody wants to die. And so you can't follow the shot caller. You can't follow like their calls in real time because they're trying to think, they're trying to analyze like what's going on. And yeah, I don't know. I thought that was weird. It was something that I kind of wanted to just get off my chest and kind of give my thoughts on. Obviously, like, I'm not going to do like a reaction video like everyone else is doing for the views or anything. Because, like I said, I don't care about the game, don't care about the hardcore league or whatever. It's like, you sign up to play hardcore, you know what can happen to your character, and to cry about the fact that, like, people died in a dungeon because people messed up is just like, and I guess that's the thing, right? Is it's not even about that. It's not even about the fact that people died. It's about the fact that one person who wasn't at fault is getting blamed for not helping an outcome that they didn't start. Like, oh gosh. You know, you think when you're in high school, like, you think when you're in middle school, everything's going to change and everyone's going to be all grown up once you get to high school, right? And then you get to high school and you realize that everyone's just a bunch of children still. So then you think like, oh man, once I get to college, it's going to be great. Everyone's going to be adults. And then you get to college and it's like, now everyone's still kids. Then you're like, man, that real world, everyone's going to be adults. It's going to be great. And then you get there and we definitely died. That got hard real fast. And then you realize just everyone is still children. Everyone. Oh, what is that song? It's not High School Never Ends by Bowling for Soup. Great song, and says it exactly. Oh, what are the lyrics though? I gotta like run through it. Like, the whole damn world is just as obsessed with who's the best dressed and who's having sex, who's got the money, who's got the honeys, who's kind of cute, and who's just a mess. And you still don't know. You still don't have the right. Yeah, something. High School Never Ends. Perfect song to explain this entire situation. Is that it is still all high school. It's pointless drama, and it's over stupid, silly games. Just go have fun. Go touch grass. Anyway, how did we do in the run? What did the most damage? Lightning Storm. See what I mean? Lightning Storm. Absolutely killed it. Easily the most damage. Is that Corrupted Arrow is pretty close behind it though. I mean, kinda, sorta. Right? This is like, it's still another 15, I guess closer to 14.5 million below Lightning Storm. That's kind of insane. Paintbrush kind of still did, okay. Tainted Staff, not really surprised by the Volt Sword. That's more there just for kind of stunning. It's more, I guess it's more so for the early game. But yeah, Lightning Storm and Corrupted Arrows doing crazy damage there. Wow. All right, and we got a whole bunch of stuff. So obviously we got a ton of money. We got the reach level 30, so now everyone can use the bombs. We reached level 20, so that's just money. What else we did? Right, we did the Ruin level. And of course, we reach minute 30. So what did we get for that? Anvil of Heaven. Falls of a random enemy, dealing damage in a wide area around it. That's probably pretty bad, because it just hits random enemies. But anyway, here, yeah, so we're done with characters. Only 5 more weapons to go, and I think some of these are just evolutions. And then charms I need to get. I have 4 more charms, and then we're almost out of trinkets too. So let's go ahead and upgrade. So I got 34k. So let's just double check this just in case anyone's interested, so I can say it's at the end. Put a few more points into speed. Health recovery I haven't touched. Yeah, so regen we're up to the full 5. Health had already been maxed out. Luck I haven't touched. So yeah, I put 1 into the extra life, and I think I put 1 into banishment and 1 more into favorites, and that's pretty much it. That's where we stand in terms of points. Skill I don't really care about. The duration, projectile speed I don't really care about. Yeah, pickup range I already have maxed out. Other than that, I think the next thing I'm gonna be going for is just favorites, so that way we can just keep building up the builds we want to do. But we're almost done here, and I'm kind of working on some stuff behind the scenes for what I want to do after Army of Ruin, because I mean, we're almost 100% of the game in terms of achievements too. I'm at 205 out of 221, so that's 92% completed. So at this point, we're just going for 100% completion. We're just going to do it all, and then we're going to move on to something else. Obviously, Hollow Cure is still going to be sticking around. I'm having super mad fun with that, and it seems like a lot of you guys are too. Although I'm curious what the overlap is between Army of Ruin fans and Hollow Cure fans. I'm assuming there's a non-zero amount, probably higher than, you know, non-zero. But yeah, anyway guys, that's been Army of Ruin. Thanks for sticking around. Obviously a successful run. If you guys had some fun, would you kindly smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more roguelite action. I've been Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.